everybody, it's Ann Kaplan from Mom Me. I'm so excited to be live with you guys today to talk about this week's theme, which is chores. How to get our kids to do them, why should our kids do them, do we have to fight about them, what chores can your kids do, all of that fun stuff. And I just want to encourage you guys, if you're tuning in live, to chime in with your questions because I'm happy to answer them as they come in. Just post it in the comments and I'll see it as you put it out there. But before I answer any questions, I just want to talk about chores, okay? I think that I'm going to be posting throughout the week in the group the reasons why it's important for our kids to do chores. And so I'm not going to dwell on that today. What I really want to talk about today is how to get your kids to do chores without yelling and fighting with them and stuff like that. So I want to give you my biggest success tips for getting chores done and having chores be a part of your family life. The first one is lower your standards. And what does that mean? It means two different things, okay? Just remember, keep in the most clearest focus when you're approaching chores as a parent. The goal is not the quality of the work that your kids do, okay? They're going to totally do a crappy job, okay? A 3-year-old is never going to do as good of a job putting away Tupperware as I am. I can promise you that. And if you look in my Tupperware drawer, there's very clear evidence of that because it looks like a 3-year-old is in charge of Tupperware in our house because he is. And that's okay. So lower your standards. Be okay with the fact that when your kids do a job, it's not going to be to your standards because it's important for them to do it. The quality of the work is not the point. So that's what I mean when I say lower your standards. You're making an investment in the future of having a kid like my 13-year-old who actually now does do chores to my standards because he's old enough to be able to do them. And he does things that are very, very helpful. But at first, when your kids do chores, it's not really that helpful. That's not the point, okay? So if you come at your chores with this mindset of like, my kid needs to do chores, my kid needs to pull his weight around here, in the beginning, it's not going to feel like they're pulling their weight. It's going to feel like you're doing extra work to have your kids do chores, and you are, for a good reason. But it's so much easier not to yell and scream about it if you'd never had the expectation that it was going to be done to your standards in the first place. So that's what I mean when I say lower your standards. It's not possible for it to be at your standard, and that's not the point, okay? The second thing is when we're talking about screaming and yelling and fighting about about chores, the quickest way to lose the enthusiasm that toddlers naturally have for doing household stuff, they love it, right? Don't lose that. The quickest way to lose that is to criticize their work, okay? And that's true whether you're talking about a toddler or an older kid. My 13-year-old likes to help me, and I wouldn't say he always likes to help me, but he either likes to help me or he's open to helping me when I ask for help, partly because I'm really grateful when he helps me and I don't, crap all over the job he's done. Now, if your kid's doing a real lazy job or not doing it well, you could say like, I'm so glad that you helped me. This is so awesome. You're such an amazing helper. And do you want me to show you how I do it when it's my job to do this thing? And you can show it to them in a way that's not saying, look at what a terrible job you did. Look at what a mess you made. So the quickest way to lose your audience and to lead to fighting and crying and a kid who's super resistant to doing chores is to criticize the chores that they're doing, okay? So I really want to plant that seed of like, be excited about your kid doing chores, celebrate them, and don't be so hung up on the outcome, right? Because that's going to lead to you being frustrated, criticizing, all of those things that lead to the fighting and yelling, okay? Now, what about when your kid doesn't do chores? Because guess what, guys? There's going to be times when you ask your kids to do stuff and they're not going to do it, or they're going to have a chore wheel or a chore chart and they're not going to do it. Guys, it's the same as what we talk about all the time. The two biggest tools we have in our toolkit when it comes to our kids, and what do I say all the time? It's all about the delivery. Your kid's not going to do chores all the time. Pray that they don't do chores, because guess what, you guys? When your kids don't do the things that would have been a really smart decision for them to do, it's such a teachable moment. It's an opportunity for you. If you don't screw it up by yelling and screaming, it's a great opportunity for you to teach them an amazingly salient lesson that they would never get to have if they didn't make that mistake. So when your kid doesn't do chores, first have a little inside party for yourself, like, woohoo, teachable moment, yay! Don't get upset about it. Keep your cool, because it's all about the delivery. And if you manage that moment right, you're going to be making an investment in a helpful kid for the rest of your life, okay? So what do? Do you yell and scream? No, you just say, oh, bummer, man. I had to do this thing that was your chore. I had to make the beds today because you didn't do it. And that really stinks because I used up all of my whatever energy. I used all of my story reading energy. I used all of my mall driving energy. I used all of my sleepover having energy to make the beds. Now I don't have energy to do those fun things. I'm super bummed. But don't worry, because I know next time when you have a chance to do a chore, you're going to do it and you're going to do an amazing job. And we won't have this problem again, and I can't wait for that time. You guys, it can happen. You can make this happen for yourself. Oftentimes we do the lazy thing now because we don't want to do the work, but we're really just making our life so much harder, because if you did do the work to instill the chores in your kids, you would be investing in a lifetime of doing so much less work. I can't even tell you how much work I don't do in my home because of the illustrious chore wheel that we have in our kitchen. I never take out the trash. I never empty the dishwasher. I never do the laundry. I don't do so many things in my house because my kids do them for me. And it certainly didn't start out that way, but it was totally worth it over time. So don't shortchange yourself because it's a pain in the butt in the beginning. It's totally worth it. It's worth it for you, and it's really, really, really worth it for your kids. I hope that's helpful for you guys. I love you guys so much, and tomorrow I'm going to be talking about how to use chores to your benefit when you're pregnant or right after you have a baby in that postpartum time when you should not be doing chores, girlfriends. I'm going to talk to you guys tomorrow. Have an amazing week. Bye.